Hello, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today is a reading vlog for a new book that just released. It's The Perfect Daughter by DJ Palmer, and I was so lucky to get an advanced copy of this, and so I wanted to be able to read it and vlog my experience because I have a really good feeling that I am going to like this book. There will be no spoilers in this reading vlog, so it's just gonna be like me reading the book, going through my thoughts, whether I think that you'll like it, whether I liked it, you know, those types of things, but I'm not gonna be spoiling anything or going into any huge details about it that would deter your reading experience, if that makes sense. I don't wanna mess up any of your reading experience. But this book is a thriller book that is about a girl with a personality disorder. I've never read a book like that before, but I have watched the movie Split that talks about that. And when I've been browsing on TikTok and stuff, occasionally I land on TikTok videos with real people that actually they're either married to someone with a personality disorder or they have it themselves or whatever it is. And that subject is very fascinating to me. I don't know much about that subject, so anything that I'm saying in this vlog, just know that I have not done research about this topic, so I am not sure, you know, just what it's like or you know, how they feel, anything like that. I'm just basing it off of what I'm reading or what I've watched from other films and TikToks. Now, I have read another DJ Palmer book. It was Saving Megan, and that one was about Munchausen by proxy, which I love that concept too, and I did really enjoy that book. I gave it 4 stars. But then I think I might have, I have The New Husband on my shelf, which was DJ Palmer's book from last year. And I think he might have written other ones as well, but this is the next one that I was picking up just because of the synopsis and everything. Now, if you watched my reading vlog where I went to go visit my sister with her newborn baby, my nephew, Remy, I actually did start this book and I am a little bit through it. I'm at 58 pages, so for now, I'll just tell you what I thought about those 58 pages, but I wanted to dedicate a whole video to this just because I felt like with that visit, I was kind of just getting lost in all of the footage. So far in this 58 pages, we actually know some pretty good information. So the mother in this book is named Grace, and she has a teenage daughter named Penny. And she gets this phone call that Penny has been the prime suspect in a murder because they find her at the crime scene with this dead body. She just has the victim's blood all over her. Well, the problem is there's multiple problems, and this is talked about literally in the first chapters, the first couple pages. I was very surprised that we were being given a lot of information already. But the person that got murdered is actually Penny's real mom. So that's literally said within the first couple of pages. So I'm guessing that Penny is adopted, and I think where I'm reading now, it's kind of doing a flashback and kind of showing you how Grace even attained Penny as a child. So that will be very interesting to kind of learn how that happened. But also Penny isn't the person supposedly that killed this mom of hers or you know, actual blood mom of hers. She says that it was Evie, which is one of her personalities. And Evie is the one that comes out when, you know, it's kind of she's kind of a badass personality kind of thing. So she's oh, I'm not fazed about going to jail and stuff like that. She didn't admit that she killed anybody. So Evie didn't even admit it, but Penny literally has no clue what's going on. She is terrified that she's in prison. She has no clue what's happened. But there is this story from, I guess, a couple years ago or a year ago where Evie was actually writing a hit list of people that they wanted to kill, and the person that ended up being murdered was on that hit list, which was her mom, her real mom. But at that time, it was also Evie. So I don't know, part of me wonders if this book is gonna go into the logistics of how can you commit a human being to being a murderer if not all of their personalities know what's going on, you know what I mean? I don't know. Ooh, I wonder if that's really what this is gonna go into. So that's all I know so far. That's what you can know. Most of that is on the back of the synopsis. But I think Penny has multiple different personalities so far. Not as many. I think that they said there's normally an average of don't quote me on this, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like, normally there's an average of like 10 personalities and only like 3 or 4 have really shown up for Penny at the moment. But like I said, the person that I was watching on TikTok had 27 personalities. So it can like really get up there. So I don't know if we're gonna learn more about more personalities or if they're just gonna be talking about like these 3 or 4 in this. And in case I'm saying this wrong, I know that there's actually a correct term for saying like multiple personality disorder. It's, I know it's DID, and I think it's called dissociative disorder. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Sorry, dissociative identity disorder, also called DID or DID, and multiple personality disorder. A disorder characterized by the presence of 2 or more distinct personality states. Dissociative identity disorder, previously called multiple personality disorder, is usually a reaction to trauma as a way to help a person avoid bad memories. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, very interesting. It says it's rare, fewer than 200,000 US cases per year. Treatment can help, but this condition can't be cured. Chronic, can last for years or be lifelong, requires a medical diagnosis. Lab tests or imaging not required. Very interesting. Okay, so I didn't realize, I didn't actually like think about it, but it was like, you know, how does that even come up? I know that a lot of people don't even realize that it's happening until like, you know, all of a sudden a personality will come out. But very interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go, or I'm gonna go read this. Feel free to read along with me. I will definitely try and say where I am, but I'm not gonna be saying any spoilers, so we should be good. All right, but I'm going to drink my coffee and read this book. Oh, we match, hey. Okay, let's do a little update. I had to put on a sweatshirt because there's like a cold front coming in, I guess. Like we've had some really nice weather, but it is super windy today and it is starting to get really cold. So I was really chilly, so I had to put on like slippers and a sweatshirt. But I am on page 99, chapter 16, so I'm almost 100 pages into The Perfect Daughter. I actually was able to get the audiobook from NetGalley because my friend Jessie from Reading with Jess, I told her I was reading this book and how I was like really enjoying it. And she was like, oh yeah, like the audiobook is on NetGalley right now. Like you didn't even have to wait. It was like the listen now or whatever, read now. So even though I don't like NetGalley audiobooks because it like messes up so much where if I'm listening to it at work, I pause it. It never wants to like pause when I want it to pause, and then it'll go back down to like 1 times the speed, like the normal speed, when I usually listen to it at like 2 times the speed or more. And so that's like frustrating because at work I just need to quick like be able to like pause or whatever I'm doing. And so then I always have to like go back into the app, fix all the settings again every single time I like pause it. So that's like why it's so frustrating sometimes. But since I'm sitting here, I figured it's not that big of a deal. Like I just have my phone here and I can just listen to it. But I'm kind of glad to have the audiobook because I'm able to read faster, and I'm actually really enjoying this book, so I want to read faster because I'm like, I want to find out what happens. So we did find out that Grace, she did find Penny when she was a little girl. I think she was 4, and she had just been like abandoned at a park or something like that. Plus Grace had a husband named Arthur, and she has 2 boys, like Ryan and what's the other one's name? Oh, Ryan and Jack are her 2 sons that she had. And so they went and they were telling the story. It was 8 years after they found Penny. So she was 12 at the time, and that's when one of her first altars came out. And her first altar that came out is named Ruby, and she has like a British accent and is literally like thinks she's from the UK. So at first they just thought she was like playing around, and they were like, why are you calling like the television the telly? And you know, like asking for like chips and calling football like soccer football and stuff like that. And so they just kind of like went along with it. But that was one of her first altars, and it was when she was 12. So like, you know, she had already been living with them for a really long time, and they did adopt her like as their daughter. There's this doctor that is like helping the situation now, like, you know, present day, and his name is Mitch. And so we did get to read with him kind of talking to Penny and trying to figure out, like, you know, her background story, because he is convinced, you know, he's like, something bad had to have happened to her as a young child in order for this DID to come out, like this dissociative identity disorder. So what we're reading right now, like, number one, we are trying to figure out, like, did Penny actually murder her mother, or there might have been an accomplice? Like, we're not sure. There's like, supposedly there's one other person on the scene, so maybe like she didn't murder, maybe like she was made to, or maybe somebody helped her. But also, was it Penny, or was it like the alter that gets in trouble a lot, which is Eve? And then we're also going to be trying to figure out, like, if it was, like, if she was the murderer, does that mean she has to like be convicted as that when she has a mental disorder? So there's definitely going to be like kind of like some legalism in here where, you know, it's like, can you, like, if someone has a mental disorder and doesn't realize what they're doing, can they be convicted like for that crime? And so it's very interesting. I'm really loving it because I feel like there are so many different aspects going on. I love obviously not knowing if she actually is the murderer, or maybe if one of her personalities did it. I love learning more about this dissociative identity disorder. I really like where things aren't black or white, like it's more gray. So even if she did, like, does that mean she has to go to jail because of her mental disorder? Like, I love that. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this book, but I think it's been done super well so far. And I don't think that it's been like all thrown at you at once. It's kind of like every few chapters, like a new thing is brought up. Like maybe you get to kind of look and see something in the past, but it's not like, I don't really like books that have timelines where it's like, oh, present day, and then like hundreds of years ago. This one is more just telling you stories of in the last like 10 years that they've had Penny. So it's been very good so far. Okay, I have been reading and reading and reading. I'm on chapter 37 at page 255, and there for a while it was kind of just getting a little like boring and repetitive. I feel like this book could definitely be cut down because I still have 100 pages left, and I'm just kind of like at the point where I feel like I know the majority of the story, but I'm just like, I need to be given something, you know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting for like something to happen or something to be revealed. Well, finally on page 254, something has been revealed a little bit, or like something like out of left field that you don't even think about. So now I'm like wondering what is happening, because like kind of like the main preface of this book is like, is Penny, like, does she actually have this disorder, or is she faking the disorder? And so you're kind of like going back and forth, like, oh, I think this is real, or no, I think that she's faking it. And so now I'm at the point where I'm like changing my thought process of what I was thinking. I don't know. But I just wanted to like update you guys, because I felt like I wasn't really updating at all, because there wasn't really much to really go on. Like, there wasn't a like, you know, like a mind-blowing moment there. So I'm hoping that these last like 100 pages are exciting and fast-paced and stuff, because I feel like some of this middle part could have been like sped up a little bit, but the audiobook has been really good. Like, there are a couple different voices, which is really nice, so that's been easy to pay attention to. Okay, I finished Perfect Daughter, and I think I'm gonna rate it 3.5 stars. I definitely think that the beginning, like 100 pages of this book, is the best part of the book. I don't know if it's because that's where you're getting a lot more like details and the first insights of the personality disorder, or maybe that's just me because I was like very interested in that part. But I felt like this book could definitely have been cut down a lot. Like, even getting to the ending and stuff, I just felt like a large part of this book, I still could have understood what was going on, but it like repeated a lot. It was very repetitive. So that is one of the reasons why I couldn't give it a whole 5 stars. I do appreciate like all the research that went into the multiple personality disorders. Like, I definitely learned a lot, and I would love to read more books like about this. I actually would love to read like non-fiction books about this. I'm definitely gonna like look some up and see if I can find any good ones, because this book definitely made me like very interested in the subject and just how it works in general. It also has like a lot of, it's kind of like a legal thriller. Like definitely the last parts are in the courtroom where like the lawyers are going at each other. Penny has to like give her side of the story and stuff like that. And so if you like legal thrillers, then you would probably definitely like this book. It also gives me vibes of like almost like American Horror Story, like insane asylum, because of Penny being like in, I forget what it's called, like Edgewater, I think. So it's like a place for like, you know, them to put people with mental disorders. And you definitely like, there's things that happen there. You know, patients kind of are like getting in fights with each other and stuff like that. So that definitely, if you like insane asylums, like kind of is like that. And I mean, like the thriller was good. It's definitely not the best thriller that I've ever read. It is very original though. So I would say if you're looking for a thriller that's like different than a lot of thrillers nowadays, because you know how a lot of thrillers, like they kind of are the same and end up the same. This one is definitely very different, and the ending is not foreseeable for me anyway. Like I don't think that you would be able to see how it's going to end, which is a good thing. I just wish that this book was half the size, and I think that I could have given it a way higher rating because of that. Because, you know, I literally just read this today and I kept just being like, okay, like we already know this, we've already talked about this, like can we, you know, get to the end? Like can we find out something more? So I feel like that would really have made this book a 4 or 5 star read for me. But I am definitely gonna be picking up more by DJ Palmer because I have enjoyed both of his books that I've read now. So you think that you would like this book if you are interested in multiple personality disorder, if you like legal thrillers, if you like that insane asylum, if you like thrillers that have, you know, shocking endings, definitely pick this up. It is out now, so you can go get it and read it and let me know your thoughts about it. And on Goodreads, it actually has a really high rating. I think that it's just because I am very particular, but this rating on Goodreads I think is at a 4.27 or something like that, which is crazy. Like that's really, really good. So it's consistently getting very good reviews. I just think that I am pretty picky and it just is not like the perfect thriller for me, but definitely I recommend. It has really short chapters and everything, and I would definitely recommend reading it if you like those more in-depth thrillers. All right, you guys, I need to get up and like take a walk because I've been sitting here for hours, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys very soon in another video. Bye everyone.